There's one simple trick that you can use right now to instantly turn any conversation from boring to flirty. And in this video, I'm going to show you a real life example of me using this trick in action so you can steal it and use it for yourself. Like my client Liam, who used this exact trick in his cold approaches and it got him 3 dates in a single week. And if you want to get insane results like David from your cold approaches, click the first link in the description. This trick is so powerful because it's simple, applicable for every single interaction you'll find yourself in, and it still works even if you start the conversation off boring or even on the wrong foot. And to prove this to you, I'm gonna show you exactly how I opened the conversation and then exactly how I used the trick in action. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the interaction for you first in full, and I want you to see if you can spot it. And then I'll go through and break down this entire interaction frame by frame so you can see exactly how to use the trick for yourself.
Excuse me. Hi, what's your name? Ukrainian?
No, German.
German. Ah, okay, I was close. Are you guys both German?
Yeah.
Or are you just visiting?
I'm visiting her, yeah. She's my best
Oh,
friend.
so you're here. I'm Benjamin. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
You guys look very well dressed.
Thank you. That's nice.
Both German then?
Yeah.
Yes.
How long have you been here for?
I came here last summer.
And you never went back? You stayed?
I stayed and I want to stay.
Okay. Why here over Germany? I've been to Germany a couple times, mostly just Frankfurt though.
Okay. Yeah, I came here for my studies last year, so that's why.
Finance, marketing?
Fine.
I don't know. I'm trying to guess.
That's a first. Oh my God, that's crazy. I never got that. That's a first. No,
You're German, so Germans are always very logical.
yeah, that's true. That's true. No, fashion actually.
Fashion? Okay.
Fashion marketing.
Okay, so that would have been my next guess.
Marketing, yeah.
You know, I saw your outfit at first, that's why I was like, oh wait.
It makes sense. It's fine.
I don't know, there's some well-dressed finance people here in New York.
Now, you may or may not have noticed it, but the trick you just saw me use in each of these interactions is called playfully profiling. And this is when you jokingly stereotype a girl based on her behavior, her outfit, or what she says, and then double down on it in a fun, exaggerated way. It's not meant to be accurate. It's meant to spark a reaction, tease her a little bit, and create that flirty tension that makes the conversation feel alive. You're basically pretending you've got her figured out already, but you're doing it in a way that invites her to push back, laugh, and even challenge to prove you wrong. Now, the reason this works so well is because it sparks playful tension, it creates emotional stakes in the conversation, and it gives you a frame to exaggerate and build on throughout the entire conversation moving forward. It also makes her more invested in the conversation because she's not going to want to say anything if she knows it contributes to this profile or stereotype you've built up of her. This makes the conversation more fun and makes it really easy to keep teasing and joking with her.
Finance, marketing?
Fine.
I don't know, I'm trying to guess.
That's a first. Oh my God, that's crazy. I never got that. That's a first.
You're German, so Germans are always very logical.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So notice here, when she tells me she came here for her studies, instead of just asking, oh, what are you studying, in a boring, predictable, and logical way, I instead look her up and down and I guess. But I don't just guess, I double down on it and I playfully profile her as being logical and very analytical like a typical German. And this is exactly how you want to playfully profile. You want to take something the girl says or does and then build a stereotype on top of it. So early in the conversation, she told me she was German. So I ran with that stereotype and I combined it with a cold read where I basically just guessed that she works in finance. You notice how once I do this, I get a really strong emotional reaction from both of them. They're laughing, they start moving around, their body language opens up a lot more, and now they're way more invested and engaged in the conversation and having a lot more fun. And we're only 20 or 30 seconds into this interaction with a stranger off the street. Now, I do it again later on in the conversation, and because I've already created this profile of them, you'll notice that when I ask them this next question, they're both hesitant and already laughing because they're both waiting to hear what I have to say. And this is the power of playfully profiling. It creates a dynamic where the girl is hanging on to your every word, wondering what you're going to say next to see if it's going to be another tease or something just normal. Either way, she's way more emotionally invested than a normal, boring, small talk conversation.
Where do you like to go out?
We lie.
Wait, why'd you laugh and give me that look?
She's the expert. I
Because we
can't
always get that question and we always have like the same answer. So that's why it's like funny because we always say the same. No, but we like to go to
The Box, Socialista, Paul's.
The usual. Little Sister.
That Little Sister's kind of a red flag.
I knew that you would say that. That's also what we're laughing.
I had no idea it is.
No, it's fun,
No,
but
like,
after 2
but
a.m.
no,
it's dark and
whenever
it's like,
I say like little sister, you're like,
Shady.
but it also depends on like.
I know what
But
you're
I
doing, little
assumed you
sister.
would say that.
So as you can see, I asked them, where do you guys typically like to go out? And I did it in a suggestive way. I looked them up and down and I kind of squint and I'm smiling. I ask this way specifically because I'm hinting at the fact that I'm going to tease them and playfully judge them based on their answer to the question. And because I already profiled them earlier and established this teasing, playful frame, they're already waiting for it. So when I ask them, they immediately start laughing. They look at each other and now the conversation is a lot more fun. And you'll notice when she finally does tell me where she likes to go out, she says, oh, you know, we looked at each other and laughed because we thought you were going to make fun of us for it. And before they could even respond, I started listing off basic, commonly known places that girls their age typically go to. And you'll notice when she finally revealed and told me where she likes to go, she said her and her friends started laughing and looking at each other because they knew I was going to tease her for where she goes because it's a basic, trendy spot that all the girls go to. In-person cold approaches are all about leaving a strong, lasting impression because even if you do a basic approach and you get the phone number, the deciding factor of whether or not she responds to your text is whether or not you left a strong enough first impression in your interaction. So when you playfully profile like this and you get this much of an emotional response from the girl, it leaves a much stronger lasting impression and it has her looking forward to seeing you again.
I don't want to hold you guys up from your dinner. I have to go meet a friend. But it'd be cool to get your Instagram. Maybe we can hang out and chat more sometime.
Now, playfully profiling can get you success like you just saw, but it's actually just one of 12 techniques that every guy needs to master if he wants to learn how to date 9s and 10s, the most attractive women. If you want to know all 12 of the techniques that you need in order to date these 9s and 10s, then click here to watch this video. And if you want me to personally hold your hand and get you into successful cold approach interactions like this that get you on dates with model quality women, then click the first link in the description and apply to work with me inside of my private coaching program. I've gotten hundreds of guys successfully into their first approach and dating the women of their dreams.